It's what I've been listening to this week, so. In hopes that this is still recording. Good day. Welcome again to this channel. Based on the last video I put out, I did speak very briefly about me being at a particular event where I was around my friends who are also rappers and artists, and you know just how much it kind of like inspired me, and it kind of like reminded me of a simpler time. Yeah, there was a time where I too wanted to dabble in music. That side of my life I keep very hidden. I'm very modest towards like singing or me rapping or doing anything that requires vocal ability. I for sure have the hardest time even trying to like voice my opinions in these YouTube videos. So today, of course, I figured it's only right that I review or I look back at some of the tracks and some of the mixtapes and projects that I did over the past couple of years. Just for visual entertainment really. I just kind of got inspired again by the events in which that has happened. I'm not really sure how long this video is going to be, but I think it's going to be a pretty fun one. So I'm looking forward to whatever this is about to happen.
The scene ain't looking like a mist in the skies. Favorite dating, steady tripping, seeing rivers in the sky. Loopy color drooping out the pupils of my eyes. Everything I see is black and white. I'm feeling like the ending is appearing, slowly driven to the light. Lately I've been going out of sight, slightly slithering out of existence. But I'm driven to the heights, bodies buried in my music, but my spirit's on the mic.
So in the first installment, I feel like it's only right that I go towards the first project which I did, which was called 8X. I was a part of a group known as Tribe, which was a group of young aspiring creatives who really went out of their ways in just trying to create like a different vibe in not necessarily music but art in the country in general. And I felt like if we are a tribe and we are a tribe of creatives, it was only right that I give myself like a tribal name, so hence the name Xavier. While I was in the whole tribe phase and the whole Xavier phase, I decided to make a project known as 8X. Now most of you may know me by the name Freakout, which is pretty much like my stage name, and I figured like why not just take the name Freakout to more or less define my, I guess, funny, goofy, crazy self, being that stage presence and that animated stage presence and that you know, just that animated and just that willing to be expressive and willing to like be extra, I guess. And I guess the whole Xavier thing was more or less me being poetic. Like I would say Xavier is more or less like the poetic side of me. With the whole 8X thing, I know during that time most of what I did was in sets of 8. So of course 8X was 8 tracks. 8X more or less forms around the time of, dare I say, depression. I know it was one of the darkest times of my life, and it was also a time where I felt like I was being held back in towards my creativity, and I felt like I was being held back towards me wanting to portray something or me wanting to execute something, and it being held down because people felt like it was too crazy or it was too weird or something. I mean, I don't blame them. After all, I did a photo shoot where I was tied to a tree, for crying out loud. But 8X was more or less me trying to put I guess certain insecurities on myself or different parts of my life that I haven't fully gotten over aside. So I would say, yeah, that's pretty much what it is really. Not to try and sound too deep, but that's just really what 8X is about. It's also like a very abstract and a very experimental phase. Like I said, I never ever recorded music before. I was fortunate enough to be with the likes of Undermined Productions, my friend Brandon, aka Trap God Scotty. It was a very fun time for me. I remember writing almost every single verse in a day. I think it was just around the time where I started getting into stones and crystals, and this one particular stone I had really like sparked my creativity. Trying to say like the stone that caused it, it could literally be anything. My favorite track I would probably say is Taken.
But with the blink of an eye, I sit here by my lonely, only to hope that my artistry isn't really alive. But why should I be surprised?
Yeah, Taken was probably one of my most depressing songs. However, it really helped me finally get some like thoughts that I had in my chest and a lot of stuff that was in me like out there. I think the hardest track for me that I made, and I don't mean hard like in a good way, but like it was really, we really just wanted to get 8 songs out there, and I think we're reached a point where production was kind of like a mess. The track I think I made was Young Lord Flow.
Harder than the cashew fruit, sipping on that apple juice or stirring up this beat like it be over them so can hand it to. Excuse me for my mind, maybe frigid, cool down for a minute trying to reach this on my patience.
I remember somewhere down the line I tried to make another one, but that didn't really work out too well. Yeah, so I keep experiencing some errors with this camera, so I guess the remainder of this video will either be unfocused or with the camera in my hand. But if my memory is very well, which it should be, if I were to describe Mind of Xavier as a rapper as anything really, is more or less him taking on that one negative comment out of like 100 positive comments about his work, and him just kind of like having a sit down with this person and just being like, okay. So I know after the 8X project I did decide to release 2 other singles, one being Rude.
Even empty now, they looking like a do fast. Then they wanna say I gave up too fast. Dare to walk across my bridge, I leave you breathless. Too bad I've been up in the skies, ain't got no time for the dog, please.
And the other one being Me, which was more or less Odd Future inspired. I think with names like Tyler the Creator, I guess Khalid, Daniel Caesar, Mick Jenkins, Frank Ocean, these are names I feel like fit well. I feel like their voices or their like I guess melodies and everything fit within my vocal range. So Me was definitely paying homage, or I guess more or less tribute to Odd Future, and me just having that, I guess, Tyler the Creator-esque kind of feel towards my music. The next one I would have to say would be Kaiso. Kaiso was for sure the most experimental time I had with my music and towards like present or creating something. I decided to do the entire project in a cappella. I wanted to use only my voice, even if it meant me beatboxing on the track, create something, and I also wanted to create something relatable to Lucian culture. So I did a lot of covers of famous Lucian Calypso tracks. Yeah, and for me to sing on an entire project was definitely something I did not see myself doing. Also, it was a bit of a cringy moment for me because I know some of the tracks, boy, I try and hit notes, I try and hit all kind of keys that I know I will not be able to hit. But I felt like, I guess the rawness and the whole, I guess, feel of my voice, that's my excuse, that's the excuse I'm going with. It was definitely an experimental one for me, for sure. Kaiso is definitely like that one. I think it was also, there was one exception because not all the songs on the project were Lucian Calypso. The last track I think was my favorite one because one, it was paying tribute to Lord Shorty from Trinidad. Also it was very like impromptu, or like more or less on the spot. I was freestyling the whole thing, except of course the background vocals. So I more or less wanted it to be something from the heart, so I tried to be as motivating as I possibly could at the time, and created this really raw and very, I guess, expressive track known as Lord Shorty.
It's a new day, it's a new life, and I'm hella thankful for what I've achieved and what I've accomplished. I just really want to reach out to the guy in the back row.
The next installment I would say would be Campari. Campari I would say is like my most popular track. At least it was the one people spoke about to me the most.
It's like every time I go, I think of you again. And every single time we meet, I talk like you're my friend. My mind's keep...
It was definitely an experimental time. For me, it was the first track where I decided I was going to sing on a track. It was heavily influenced by, or heavily inspired by Oshun, the rap group, who at the time I was listening to like their first project, I think it was. It was definitely like a risk I felt like I was taking, because I'm very modest when it comes to like having a singing voice or any kind of voice whatsoever. I just never liked the idea of, hey, I'm a singer, oh, so sing for me. I don't want to do that. I don't really like singing for people. I barely even like singing out loud, because I just kind of at war with my voice. But that's just me kind of like accepting, I guess, the sound that I have, or I guess the sound that I give off. Of course, long story short, the song is really not about what you think. It's more or less personification, relating to an inanimate object, and also like me, I guess, going into the persona of a guy who basically led himself into alcohol consumption over a bad romance. Not saying that I got drunk over some girl, but let's just say I did, and I wrote a song about it. Last one.
The vision is bifocal, dealings on my opinions, a reason to give civilians the meaning to buy local. My arms too short to box with God, they better spend more time, even in odds. It's chest full of pride, I noticed all the bullets once I opened my eyes. I've been the victim to deceit a few times.
The last one is of course the most recent one. Originally was supposed to be called I See You Enjoying Yourself, but I decided to go with Pasty Straight because I felt like it was the perfect name to call it, and I feel like I could explain it better that way. Of course, it had a lot to do with a breakup that I had a few years back. Yes, I'm actually bringing up romantic stuff ish. Yeah, kind of just me like leaving a toxic relationship and me more or less like reflecting, but in 4 different phases. Yeah, so it was fire in my spirit, whatever, suitcase, and laziness. I definitely want to do another version of laziness one point in my life. That sounded funny, but I'm gonna continue. So these names alone, fire in my spirit, whatever, suitcase, and laziness, is more or less me showing the different ways the term Pasty Straight can be used. So with fire in my spirit, it was more or less me expressing anger and me more or less expressing like, I guess, me being fed up and me just saying like, you know what, I've had enough. I am gonna come out, I'm gonna get through whatever circumstance it is that I'm going through right now at this point in my life. And the moment I decide to develop that confidence and develop that strength within myself, I don't want anybody around me, I don't want nobody dealing with me in any negative aspect. All I want is positive vibes, and that's pretty much all what the song is about.
And it's only the beginning, my fingers been itching, aiming for submissions over submissions to bring the cycle back to life. This life that I've been living, been blessed to possess the wisdom pot is bubbling back into the kitchen, overwhelmed with this passion.
Whatever, of course, is a incredibly incredible left turn, where I'm more or less like, this isn't like, this is basically me behind closed doors. So fire in my spirit is like, like, hey, I'm here to destroy everybody, I don't care who, like, I attack, but this is me. And then the moment that door closes, it's like why is all this happening to me, kind of thing. And that's all I can really say about whatever. Whatever was also very blunt, because I did speak about certain things that happened in my life that I know whomever would listen would more or less want to know, like, what am I speaking about.
Welcome. I remember this girl that I really like. I cut her off, I couldn't heal the sores. I told her that I wouldn't like to see her anymore. Months later, I found her from a friend. She said I called her a whore. I guess no one's opinion about me is safe anymore. Years later, I found another, called her a blessing. We had our differences, but at least she got the message. When we met, I was broke, and as I mentioned, money coming in like everything changed. Now we're no longer.
Suitcase, I feel like, is a song I would probably, possibly, more than likely perform. I think it's definitely a song I'll perform. Like, I just feel like it's so relatable. At the same time, it's a lot that happened in my life. I know my favorite line. Oh my, I can't remember how the song goes. But there was a line in there where I express how almost everybody I've kind of like dealt with in life, or had a crush over, or like had a rough relationship with. When I say relationship, I mean like friendship, or we like we're just talking and we ended on bad terms and we ended up hating each other, or whatever the circumstance may be. These people always end up in a pageant for some reason, and to this day I can say that still happens. It's more or less me saying like, this was, if you know Kendrick Lamar, you know the Heart series, this was my Heart Part 4. This was more or less me saying like, you're only in a place, you're only where you are now because I haven't told my side of the story as yet. So if you don't want me to open this suitcase and burst your files, I would suggest you be quiet. That was more or less like my arrogance. This was very much Pusha T influenced. This was very much Pusha T inspired. I would say Pusha T is one of my favorite rappers right now. The man just a genius at what he does. He's incredible with metaphors, and he definitely inspired the whole flow and the whole I guess the whole visual, or the whole like concept behind the whole track.
Stay searching for heaven inside of wine glasses. Hearts filled with anxiety as the time passed. Notice how all the eyes have it. I drift along these words cause I know that my mind's past.
And of course, laziness is just kind of me being through with dealing through all these emotions and just realizing that maybe I'm the problem. And it was more or less me saying like, if for whatever reason you see me on the street and I end up walking right past you, it's not necessarily because I have anything against you. It's more or less me just being in deep thought and me not being fully conscious as to what's around me, because I'm too more or less focused on what I haven't done in my life. And that's it. I know it's a lot to digest. Definitely this shit is a lot to digest. I've been sweating like a pig right now. But do thank you for watching. More or less appreciate everything that you have. More appreciate you reaching this far in the video, or I guess skipping through most of it because it was a lot to go through. Stay tuned for the next one. I do hope that at least this video will hold up some time and space. I still haven't actually decided when I'm going to do my next dance classes yet, but do stay tuned for an update. And I do hope that you have a great day, and I hope you take it easy. Stay safe, stay positive, stay in highly favored, stay working on yourself, stay loving yourself. Own the day, seize the day, and of course, again, have a great day. I'll see you next time. Blah.